peace, restore our gloria to live forever. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime, I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer.
Welcome to Extracurricular Activities Week 10. I am PVS, joined here with Headmaster Red. How's it going, buddy?
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 Hey,
I
how's
was on
it
the wrong
going,
slide,
buddy?
so my mind blanked.
Oh, okay. Hey, how's it going? I'm ready for another exciting week. We're heading into championship weekend for some of these people here in the freshman and sophomore. Very poggers.
Lots of prize money to go around in these next games.
You know, some people will be making some big money this week. And some people will be making less money, but still big money, you know.
Exactly, especially for freshmen where it's free. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the ROI in freshman is like literally infinite.
All right, so we will inform you. So there is the name rechange. The TD Frost left their org and became the Donut Shop, aka TDS, conveniently named after one of our casters. Yeah, so if you see the Donut Shop in pink, that is TD Frost in disguise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a new team, but it is indeed just a rebrand. We're not entirely sure the situations of why that happened, but I like the color.
Yeah, pink's rare.
A little bit of a downgrade, right? It's cute though, and the color's nice. So.
Yep. I believe the only game we had last week was match 7, QGK versus QGP. Surprisingly, it was very opposite of what we predicted. It was QGP taking the series 3-0 against the sister team of QGK.
Yeah, I thought it would be a little closer. I think I had QGP or QGK. I can't remember.
You definitely
had
had QGK.
One of them being like 3-2.
Yeah, it was 3-2. QGK on your side.
So I thought it'd be closer, but QGP was just like, no, we have Sodalo and Paladin, so we're just gonna win now.
Yeah,
and it's looking really good for them, honestly. You know, when we first started this, we really thought like, who can really challenge ED?
no,
the
TDS,
Donut
TDS.
Shop, TDS. And now they have a contender. They really do. So it'll be interesting to see how that matchup goes forward. I expect it to be pretty close.
Yeah, that should be a pretty interesting grand finals. Obviously, it's freshmen. Anything can happen. People have off days. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into predictions later as to what's going to happen in that series. But yeah, I can see that being pretty close.
Yep. So this was a civil war. We had another civil war this season. It was much closer than this civil war. So,
yeah.
And it's very interesting because QGK came in as one of the top seeds and QGP came in as one of the bottom seeds, and it's like a complete reversal.
Yeah,
But,
going to the grand finals from starting in the losers bracket, pretty impressive. Not gonna lie.
Pretty impressive. Yep. Okay, well that's where we stand with the freshman playoff bracket. Do you want to move over to the sophomore?
All right. And in the sophomore, we saw Team Ambition Aurora lose 0-3 to TD Blaze in the losers finals best of 5, moving on to the playoffs versus LEO.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising, the 3-0. You know, I think TAA had kind of an off day, to be honest. And you know, it really bit them in the ass. TD Blaze is looking good though. They're kind of streaking right now. They're in a really good spot to play LEO. They're kind of hot, like in terms of gameplay right now. So it'll be exciting to see how LEO is there to match them. Like, how can they? In my opinion, they look so good.
Yeah, I mean, so in total, LEO is, what is this, 5-2 totals in the playoffs, while TD Blaze is 2, 5. They are 7-2.
They're 8-2.
8-2.
Yeah,
So both only lost two total games, but obviously Leo 2-0 TD Blaze in the first round, so maybe that's an indicator
Right.
of what's to happen in the grand finals.
I'm not entirely sure. It seems like TD Blaze has found their flow. They had a good roster. They finally found like a really solid roster. And they said they lost in the first round on purpose to avoid bye weeks because they don't like bye weeks.
Ah, okay.
Maybe that was the big brain play, you know. But yeah, I think that's all we need to touch on before we, like predictions. So let's just hop over to the junior playoff bracket where we
Yeah.
had more than one match.
Yeah. Okay, so we had BBC take down Puds 3-1, so they lost their first official game this season. What else do we have? Legend Spartans took down OMTH 2-0. Zenigma beat Zen Esports 2-1. And that means LES versus Zenigma will be the losers semifinals best of 5 series, while Puds moves into the losers finals and BBC secures their spot in the grand finals.
Yes, and the losers semifinals are always probably the most important match, in my opinion, because it is the determiner whether you get money or not.
Yeah.
It's if you win, you get money. If you lose, it's like tough titties, I guess.
Yeah, Puds and BBC have already secured at least some money. Can go
at
from
least their entry fee back.
Yeah.
Pretty big. So, LES, they technically don't have to worry about that because they got their entry fee waived.
True, winning those early tournaments, kind of OP.
Yeah, I think didn't Zenigma do the same thing? Like, yeah, they did too. So, well, maybe they didn't. I can't remember. I think both of these teams had their entry fees waived in the loser semifinals, but they were also our number 1 and number 2 team in the preseason. You remember that?
Yeah.
So, and they're kind of like perennial rivals, kind of.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean,
they've played each other in other leagues, and it's gonna be fun to watch them like go head to head again. So I'm excited for that. Should be a banger of a matchup. Both teams are looking pretty good. Zenigma with the big open heart of allowing a reschedule for Zen Esports because if you guys haven't been paying attention, Zen initially FF'd that match. But Zenigma kind of made some adjustments and got them to play on Monday in order to give them a chance to play. And, they won, so,
yeah, pretty good sportsmanship to actually like beat them with skill instead of just FF. I mean,
taking the FF,
that's the way it should be most of the time, but yeah.
Great, and I guess this is a good time to reiterate that we are on a schedule in the playoffs, so we don't push back matches in the playoffs. I think I've said this before, but just to make it clear, because it got lost in translation to some people, that you actually have to play your match within the week that it's scheduled because we cannot hold other teams up. So Zenigma and Zen Esports were able to make it fit, but as we'll see in the senior brackets, some people weren't able to make it fit. So
yeah, that's probably a good time to move over to that playoff bracket. So let's move on over. So in the winners finals best of 5, we had G7 Mirage 3-0 OMT Esports Aries. Sorry, we had OMTA get a forfeit win to Ithaca College, and Akuma Blades beat USC 2-1.
The G7 Mirage OMT. I said this during the pass in between the games when we're in like our little commercial break. That OMT looks like they can beat G7M until they can't, because like it looks close for a little bit. Even sometimes OMT will build their leads, and then like mid to late game comes around and it just gets blown wide open. And so if somehow OMT can shore up those kinds of things, they can end up maybe taking some games off of G7M in the grand finals or something. But right now it's not looking so hot. And then of course, Ithaca College had some kind of scheduling issues. They could not make the game work before Monday, and so they had to FF. So OMTA gets the ride over into the loser semifinals. And Akuma Blades 2-1 to USC. It was close. The first game was very close, and USC ended up winning, and then Akuma kind of stomped them the next 2 games.
Yeah, I saw
So,
the third game recap. That was looking a little bit ugly on the side of USC.
I think
but
the second game was like 18 minutes too.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. So, but now Akuma's going to be playing OMTA, and the winner of that again will get a cut of the prize pool. That's pretty important. For
True.
Akuma, they had their entry fee waived. So they would get like a free $100, basically.
That's value right there. I have free minimum $100.
Yeah, if
They
they
could
win,
win.
of course.
Yeah.
OMTA looking to at least get their prize. I mean, their entry fee back by taking the win off of Akuma, and maybe having a little bit of a war in the losers fight.
How long has it been since OMTA has played? Since they had a bye and then a bye. Well, I guess not a bye, but they played 2 weeks after the last regular season game.
Can you just answer your own question?
Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's a pretty big gap between the last game they played. So maybe a little bit worrying.
I think here's what I'll say. Here's my hot take. OMT made some roster changes after their E7M series. So it's hard to say how strong they'll be. But my hot take is whoever wins between Akuma Blades and the OMTA will go to grand finals. That's my hot take.
Okay. So you're picking
I think
Akuma Blades.
Well, we'll get into that, won't we?
Well, yeah, that's
for
it's
later.
it's not our next one, but it's coming up really shortly. So
Coming up soon, yeah.
I mean, we can probably just move over to week 9 predictions and results.
Sure.
All right, you can read out this one. This one's quite a doozy.
Okay, so we did some reorganizing because PBS wanted to be involved.
True.
So we kind of made it a little bit more digestible. Starting with their freshmen, on the far left you can see my predictions. In the middle you can see PBS's predictions, and on the right you can see what the actual results were. Both me and PBS had QGK winning the series. I thought it would be close. PBS thought it would be less close. But we were completely off.
Yeah, I don't know what happened
QGP. Maybe QGP. I feel like we were just definitely underrating QGP.
Maybe it's because they were the 3rd seed. Maybe we just thought they were worse by seeding, but.
And QGK had looked good, but they clearly had slid towards the end of the season, and QGP was QGK was kind of cold at the wrong times, and QGP was kind of hot at the right time, and that's how we ended up here. And then to kind of like echo that same situation, for sophomore, we both picked TAA to win. You had them winning 3-0.
Yeah.
And then TD Blaze comes out with a 3-0. So we were a little bit off on those.
I thought TAA was the quote unquote good TAA team. I thought they were gonna be the shining light for Team Ambition org.
I think they're a good team. The problem is like Lowell Greed said, TD Blaze is just cracked right now. They found a really good roster at the right time. They had been like shuffling rosters all season, and they found the right roster at the right time. And TAA had a bad day. That's what I genuinely think. And TD Blaze capitalized on that. It's not to take away anything from TD Blaze. They showed up. They won the game. That's what you expect. And when you get those kinds of situations, you should take advantage of them. So, big shout outs to TD Blaze for pulling off that 3-0. That's very impressive. Okay, for juniors, we have some small disagreements, but it turns out that I was correct, which is not surprising. I even predicted the BBC Puds match completely correct. Well, so did you, damn it.
Yep.
And then I got the LES prediction correct. I thought OMTH would play better. I also think OMTH had a bad day as well. I think they're a better team than what they showed on Sunday, but it's just a bad time to be floundering. And then we both had Zen 2-0, but they ended up dropping a game to ZJP. But yeah, so we were mostly right, except for you got one wrong. So
yep.
I mean that just means I'm better. So, okay. For senior, I had G7M 3-2. You had G7M 3-0 over OMT. You were correct on the game score there.
Yep. Yep. That's 2 off from you.
Is that how that works? Okay. I mean, maybe we need to go back and tally your 3-0s from TAA. I think that's like -6 or something.
Maybe.
So the Ithaca OMTA, I mean, you won, but
Let's
I'm gonna give that
go.
that's a technicality.
That's a tech win
Yeah.
right there.
It's a technicality on the FF, and then I predicted the AKM USC series perfectly, so I think we can come to the conclusion that I was right and you were wrong. So
Okay, but next week, I got some.
Next
I
week.
pretty much picked fully opposite of you. So
okay, well let's see it. Let's see it.
yeah. Week
Only-
10 predictions.
only-
Here we go.
Only 4 games next week as we dive into this championship series. It's nuts.
Yeah, a lot of spicy takes in this one.
Right. So we'll start off with freshmen. I got TDS 3-2 over QGP. You have them 3-1. Can you explain why you're not so high on QGP?
No. I'm just high on TDS.
And can you just tell me why you think QGP is so bad?
Oh, I don't think they're bad.
Well, no,
I
mean,
think
you
they're top
clearly
2.
think They're bad.
They're
Oh, you
definitely
think
top 2.
they're
They're definitely top 2.
Okay.
I just think TDS, formerly TD Frost, pretty much dominated the entire league. So
Okay.
I just
Okay.
I'll just give it to them 3-1. You know, I'm not a 3-2 type of person really, but
Well, that's because you're the producer and you don't want to stay up late.
correct.
But I have faith in QGP. I think it's a toss-up. They look really good right now. The 3-0 over QGK was extremely impressive. Both teams 3-0'd QGK, by the way. So it's hard to get a good feeling on who's better. And with TDS's bye weeks, you never know how good they're actually going to come out and play.
Potentially.
Yep. So for sophomore, I got TD Blaze 3-2 over LEO. You got LEO 3-1 over TD Blaze. So can you tell me why you think TD Blaze is so dog shit?
I am basing it off the first time they played, where it was 2-0 LEO, and LEO has been slept on for the entire season, really. So I figured I'd give them a little pat on the back for this grand finals.
Okay. Again, I think this is a toss-up, to be honest. I think it's become clear that the freshman and sophomore leagues actually have really close teams, and the junior and senior ones, not so much.
At the top,
So-
yes, at the top.
Yeah, at the top, yes. So I think TD Blaze, they look really good right now. They're streaking. I think they dropped like 1 game in the past 8 or something, if that. Oh, maybe no, they haven't dropped a single game in the past 3 series, right?
Sounds about right.
Oh, they dropped 1 game to TAE. That's right. They're sitting at 8-3. So yeah, they're looking really good right now. LEO went 3-2 against TAA, and TD Blaze 3-0'd them. So I'm thinking TD Blaze looks a little better, in my opinion.
Well, I mean that's what your predictions show, so that makes sense.
Yep. For juniors, I got Zen 3-1. You got LES 3-2.
Yeah, I think that series is gonna be a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, I think LES is looking good, so I wouldn't be surprised if it went 3-2. I also think Zenigma is a little sliding a little bit, to be honest. But I think if Zenigma, I'll say this every week to the day I die, if Zenigma comes out with their full roster, it would just demolish teams.
I've accepted that's never gonna happen. So
yeah, I feel like that's the same thing. Like I feel like that's just never gonna happen. So yeah, I still think I'm holding hope that Zenigma fields their full team and they beat LES 3-1. But I definitely understand the 3-2 for LES on your side. And then you have probably the biggest spice compared to mine.
Yep.
Is that I got AKM 3-0 over OMTA, and then you have OMTA 3-2 over AKM.
Yeah, even though I don't want to stay up late, I just had to go against you because I know you were gonna pick AKM to go like 3-1 or 3-0. So I was like, oh okay. So I'll just get the OMTA stocks going here and pick the 3-2 win.
Here's why I'm on not high on OMTA. Okay, so what Flyer 666 is? Here's why I'm sleeping on OMTA. Okay, they just played G7M. That was their last match, I think. OMTA looked completely outclassed.
That was the full Omnistone game.
This is a full Omnistone game, and it wasn't really close.
But
I like OMTA as a team. I like some of the guys on the team. But AKM, it looked good after the first game against USC. They looked really good, and then yeah, I think USC is better than OMTA, so I have to pick AKM to win. So.
what was I gonna say? So you say OMTA lost to G7 Mirage with the full Omnistone game. I don't personally see AKM as a G7 Mirage type team, but
I
yeah, I personally don't. So
yeah,
I don't think I've ever been on the AKM hype train.
Oh, okay. From what I've heard, AKM and G7M have this kind of like rivalry. They always end up facing each other in these high elo leagues. G7M always gets the better of them, but they have been competitive before, and that makes me very optimistic for AKM's success. So they're the kind of team that, if there was a team, I'm saying it right now, if there's a team that could take down G7M on like G7M just shows up with like their keyboards unplugged or something, AKM can do it. Like that's the team. Potentially, yeah.
I mean, they got to go through the brick wall of OMTA first, though. So
yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, I could be completely wrong. I mean, who knows? But yeah, we kind of blew through this this week.
Yeah, I mean, less games, less to talk about, I guess you could say. But
Sure.
so these house standings, there has been a little bit of a movement, you could say, in the
Yes, it's very spicy now. Very spicy.
Yeah, so Cloud and Infernal are now tied for first. Mountain at third and Ocean at fourth. I think Ocean is like pretty much mathematically out. I don't think Mountain can make it either. I think it's just between Infernal and Cloud at this point.
Yeah, I think I ran the numbers, and because Enigma has to play LES, that means one of them has to finish fourth. And therefore, I don't think they can catch either of these other two teams. When I was going through the scenarios, but it is a tie for first right now, and we have a couple, Cloud versus Infernal matchups, which should be very spicy. QGP versus TDS. I mean, whoever wins that is just gonna put their team in first.
There's
right?
Akuma versus OMTA as well.
Yep. And if Akuma wins that, then they have to play OMT too. So there's potentially quite a few matchups. No more matchups in the junior. As long as BPC doesn't finish second.
Bomb the finals.
There shouldn't be much movement there. So yeah, it's literally going to come down to these 1v1s between Cloud and Infernal, I think.
Yeah, that's the only two you can really bet for now is Infernal or Cloud.
Who are you betting?
Honestly, at the start of the season, I was on the Cloud side. But now that it's tied, I think I'm gonna flip over to the Infernal house. I just think OMT. Well, I picked OMTA to beat Akuma, so it only makes a little bit of sense. Although I did pick TDS to beat QGP though.
Right. I think technically Cloud House is like the stronger house right now, right? Like TD Blaze and TDS are both positioned to win their championships. And then I think Akuma is going to beat Athena and Ares, in my personal opinion. So if that happens, then they'll secure first. But That's why this Akuma versus Athena matchup is so huge because I think whoever wins that is just gonna win the house standings.
Yeah, that's very possible, unless something really weird happens, like four
Yeah.
upsets.
Yeah, I think the only like it's pretty much the determinant, because if let's say Akuma wins and then loses to OMT, then the rankings don't change that are listed here, so they would still be tied, and then
What
it
happens if
would
it
come
ends in
down
a
to like
tie?
QGP. If it ends in a
Is that
tie,
possible?
no, it's not possible.
Oh,
It
okay.
didn't. Yeah, well, I'm just saying that I don't know for sure. It's not. Could be a tie.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
We're gonna have a tie. We're gonna coin
If it
flip
ends
it.
in a tie, okay. Here's the thing: if it ends in a tie, the house with the most championships wins. That's
Okay,
simple.
okay, that'll work.
Yeah. So
Most first places win.
yeah, yeah. And I don't think they could tie that. Oh, maybe they can. Uh,
Uh-oh.
so here's the question to Lowell Green. I'll answer that. UEA and UER did drop from the league and were awarded 2 FF losses. So if you put that in the grand scheme of standings, um, they are still technically better than 4 other teams. So that is why they're positioned 7th and 8th. So it's not really like a debate. We might reevaluate one of those series, but I still don't think that'll cause any movement because most of the freshman teams finished with like 2 match wins. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't change anything. It's not like they were kicked from the league. If you drop from a league, you're just giving FF losses and that affects your standings. But if you get kicked from the league, that's something else. They would be moved down to last place. So
Yeah, that'd be
just to
the
address that.
DQ placement.
Yeah, exactly. So, is there anything else you want to touch on?
I think that's it. As long as every team schedules their matches on time this week, we should be good to go.
Yeah, I'm hyped. Please schedule your matches ASAP. I mean, we only have 4 matches. We're gonna put them all on stream. Please, if if you can schedule it on, the respective day, that'd be great. I know that freshman Fridays are wide open now. There should be no excuse not to play it on Friday. And then I think the other matches should be no problem scheduling on their respective days as well, because that way we'll have a banger. All 4
Yeah.
matches, 4 days in a row.
I think
Can't beat that.
I want to give a recommendation to maybe start earlier if it's possible for both teams. I mean, 8's the default time, but if you can go earlier, that's better for your players. You don't have to stay up all night on like a Monday.
But
A
it's just
little bit
PBS
easier.
saying stuff.
Yeah,
Don't
that
listen
is
to
just me
him.
saying stuff.
He just doesn't want to work that late. So, last little announcement. This is pretty important. If you are a freshman or a junior team and you want to play in season 2, you need to get your application in like yesterday. Those applications are filling up really fast. Sophomore and senior are a little slower, but they still look like they'll fill up before the application deadline, almost definitely. But freshman and junior have over 10 applications each, and that puts us in like, if you're not in that 16 group of 16, then I can't do much for you. So even if you don't have a complete roster, I would just submit an application. We can hold a spot for you, that kind of stuff. So yeah, and there are some very spicy applications. Let me tell you, there's going to be some good teams next season, and some teams changing, swapping teams. Some players swapping teams. So that'll be exciting to talk about. But yeah, that's it. Excited for season 2. Excited for the end of this season. Yeah, and excited to see who wins the house, our first ever house cup.
True. That is the what do you want to call it? The trademark of Runeterra Academy is this house system.
Sure.
So
Our unique value proposition.
Yeah.
In sales terms. So
yeah, well, I mean,
okay.
If that's all you have to say, I mean, I think we can probably end this episode pretty short, but I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. was fun though. It was fun though.
Yeah, true. All right, well, thanks everyone for tuning in to this extracurricular activities week 10. I was PVS. I was with Headmaster Red, obviously on the other side of the call. We will see you next time on the show, and I believe if a game gets scheduled on Friday, we will see you Friday at the soonest. Everyone have a great night, and we will see you next time.